We got 2 shits running. All right, now I'm gonna go start the camera. Ew. Hey, what up, boys? We got that camera. All right, boys, welcome to the fucking Goon podcast, as I'd like to call it. Today we're gonna be talking about some shit. I've just been fucking sitting in my room, mind melting away, balding, angering every day. So let's get into it. God, dude, the fucking pandemic recently has just been fucking me up. Like, I don't know. In America, I feel like people only stayed home when it was trendy. It's so fucking dumb to see, like, the same people who were posting on social media and shit, like, oh, stay inside, all this blah, 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 going out and fucking licking doorknobs and shit, right? Like, the same dudes who posted themselves at Black Lives Matter movements just to like post about it, and then you go in their private store and they had them looting a fucking Louis Vuitton or some shit. It's just the fucking governments in the US whole handling of the pandemic has just been fucking garbage, honestly. Like, literally prime example of the worst way to do it, and they somehow managed to make wearing a mask political. That is, I don't even know how. I hope I don't have to say this, but it's not. Okay, it's literally a piece of cloth. All right, I've seen middle-aged obese men with asthma wear like 5 masks and be I myself am I working out with asthma while wearing a mask, and dudes are still like, nah. All right, we're gonna fucking go on. What the dog doing? All right, I'll just get on with the fucking, I got a fucking checklist of shit. Also, don't quote me on everything I'm saying about the pandemic, because it's all kind of like stuff I vaguely remember from reading articles and stuff. If I wanted to make a real video about it, I would definitely list my sources, but the numbers, what I'm about to say, the numbers are going to be a bit off, but it's not like I didn't imagine these results. I would say like for example, from what I remember from researching, we need at least 70% of the population vaccinated for COVID to die out with the spread rate it does. And that is if all the vaccines are at 90% efficacy rate, like if they're 90% effective. And a cool thing I did read, actually, hold up, is that the vaccine, well, not cool, it sucks, because the vaccine isn't good against the different strains. So like the fucking Europe strain or some other shit, it don't work. It's only 1/5 effective, from what I remember. And here's I'm just gonna say a PSA, because it seems like people don't really realize, but you can get COVID and spread it without having symptoms. That's one. Another 2 is, if you complain about quarantine and you go outside, you lose your right to complain. That's just, I don't make the rules. Sorry, man. I had someone say to me the other day, or text me, actually. The fucking text read, "Hey, I heard that you've been staying inside during COVID. How's that going?" What? Like, isn't that what everyone's supposed to be doing? What is the alternative to that? I'm gonna go outside and fucking lick doorknobs, huh? Am I gonna go fucking hawk a lug and fucking put in a Starbucks cup? And what's even better about this is I'm coming up on my 2nd birthday in quarantine, and dudes can't even handle 1 goddamn week without being able to go out and eat the fucking Travis Scott, Mr. Beast fucking glizzy burger and jerking off into a fucking new Supreme hoodie. Like it's actually, it blows my mind how fucking bad. Like, this is literally textbook worst situation it could have gone in the US. Because like, a perfect example of how it should have gone is Australia and Melbourne. I think it was by June, so like 4 months in quarantine or some shit, they already had 0 cases. And I'm pretty sure they're still at that, because they cut off the fucking airports. They made a fine, actually. If you're caught fucking partying and having friends over, you get like a $500 fine. And they really enforce that, from what I hear. If only, man, if only. And what even fucking blows my mind even further is just fucking, despite 500,000 deaths, people are still like, nah, it ain't real. Like, I don't even, man, what is you doing, dog? I mean, it's just been a general, like, for me, I feel like the whole country is just gonna be, the whole world actually is just gonna be so fucking frustrated after all this shit. I'm frustrated, dude. Fucking a year of my life just fucking locked in here, writing on my walls, fucking throwing shit on the walls. Here's another thing. I see people posting a lot at like their fucking vaccine cards and shit. You know, a fun fact actually, even if you are vaccinated, you can get coronavirus and spread it to others. Despite this, people see the vaccine as a pass to go out and lick doorknobs. You know, they got the pass. They got the doorknob looking pass. As every American's favorite pastime is fucking getting on your knees and fucking going to town on a doorknob. You know, that's really what started all this. It was just America's god fucking favorite thing. Dude, like I swear to God, everyone's like, they're coming out of their fucking caves. What's up? I've been locked in a room for 12 months. I'm depressingly horny. Come here, stranger. It's like, oh man, I understand why a lot of people, you know, are a bit hesitant. I'm probably like as far paranoid as you could get. You know, there's microorganisms literally on every surface. Like everywhere there's germs. There's no helping against that. And I looked this up earlier. The threshold for how many like individual viruses it takes for you to get COVID is unknown at the moment. But I mean, it would be safe to assume really all it takes is one, but probably realistically not that much. But still, it's like you gotta think, because like it's even with the mask thing, wearing a cloth mask is only 50% effective, and that's like a surgical cloth mask. So it's really only safe when you're in public and everyone's wearing a mask, because then it's 50-50, 100%. I can link a video on the math on that. That video I actually remember. Another example is people thinking that the fucking 6-foot social distancing thing will fucking help it. You could stand in a fucking meat freezer and these motherfuckers would think if you're 6 feet apart, you're safe. No. I mean, you can think of gas and air as like just a more loose fluid, really. And you know, if you put a drop of food coloring and water in a corner of a container or even a room, it's eventually going to diffuse throughout the whole thing. You can think of it the same as that. There was a great video from the slow-mo guys that demonstrated the difference between wearing a mask and not, with like coughing, talking, just breathing. And you can see the small particles that aren't heavy enough to get carried by gravity down and just linger in the air. You can see them visibly in the air. And it just astounds me that despite this knowledge, the CDC or whoever just ignores trying to fucking tell everyone, hey, you know, this is a thing. Don't stand in a room. And I'm sure they say that, but they don't, you know, they don't spread the knowledge as much as they used to when they're just saying, oh yeah, it's fine, just be a bit away from him, you know. Yeah, but it recently has been really rough. I was supposed to release a video recently, tomorrow actually. At the time this video comes out, I would have released it, but just a bunch of shit has been going on recently. It's been tough, dude. Like, it sounds, I am so grateful for being able to stay at home. Like, okay, let me rephrase this. Earlier when I said, like, you know, if you go outside, you're a piece of shit right now. Like, if you go in public without a mask or just like in big groups, even with a mask, going out to social events right now is a no-no. Just in general, I don't care what it is, who you are. Unless it's like a fucking hospital, you know, it can wait, do it online. But, you know, if you gotta go to work, that's, you know, that's out of the question. That's fine, right? You know, I understand that our country views donations during a pandemic as socialism, and therefore you're gonna get your ass murdered. I mean, yeah, I'm very privileged to be able to stay at home the way I have been, but that doesn't mean it's been easy. I mean, I've been stuck in this loop recently where I'll stay up really late, I'll fall asleep, and I'll wake up at like 5 p.m. and it'll just keep repeating. Like, I'll fucking wake up at 5 p.m. and then just go to bed at like 6 a.m. It'll just keep going, and it gets worse and worse. And then when I try to stay up and pull an all-nighter to fix it, I fall asleep at even a worse time and end up waking up at like fucking like 3 a.m. and then going to bed at like 3. I don't know. I recently got out of it. I don't know how, but I've gone through this cycle like fucking like 6 times already. I'm probably gonna go back soon. It's like, dude, I'm just get me out of this fucking house. Get me out of my head, man. God. All right. Now that we're out with all the bullshit and all the frustrations, let me tell you about some shit. All right. Oh yeah. So I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. The fucking 2017 trap scene. All right. That shit was so fucking funny and stupid and shit. So basically back then, I remember this update. Snapchat released this update. It used to be you swipe on the right page, and you would have all the stories, right? And then they added this thing where you can be added to a group story, and anyone in that story can see it and they can add to it. Basically, someone in Washington created a party story where you would just post addresses and you would post any parties looking for people to come to parties, and that was there. There was like, I think like it was like 10,000 people on or some shit. It was a fucking lot. And literally like every weekend there would be like 10 parties addresses, just nothing else, black screen address. And then dude, it was crazy. Like you would pull up to a house and there would be like 500 dudes shoulder to shoulder. There would be like some fucking like Wu-Tang Tupac bumping in this fucking like small Seattle house. It was so prime, dude. One time, and this actually happened a lot. So these fucking functions were crazy, right? So they would either end in cops showing up or a gunfight happening. I actually remember one of the times me and my fucking woman at the time we were in my car and we literally just parked outside of this dude's house, like downtown Seattle. So it's like there's traffic passing by and we were in the back messing around. I'll leave it at that. And I remember fucking seeing blue and red over my shoulder. And I was like, oh shit, dog. And then I see I turn around and I make eye contact with this fucking man in a cop car. And I just go right back. I just look right back, and I just because they didn't even stop for me. They were going up to the house, which I came with friends, and they went, and we stayed in the car. And dude, like that was so crazy, but it was weird because we were in the place earlier and we went in a room and we saw like a fucking girl chilling on the bed. But then later when my friends came running out on why the cops are called, it was like a guy came into the room where the girl was passed down. Some guy was like looking at her weird and shit, so he like fucking pulled out his gun. He told him to get away, and then the dude got all sus and called the cops and shit. And yeah, I don't know, that really went nowhere. Wow. Epic. But yeah, that was a crazy time. You know, those functions would run a lot. I probably went to like 20. I went to one in Seattle where there was literal underground rap going on. It was like it was an old abandoned dorm room or dorm house on UW Road where all the fucking frat houses are. If you fucking live in Seattle, you know what I'm talking about. And fucking the whole house just had tags in the front. You go in, oh my god, dude, I forgot about this. So I do not so my friend was babysitting his cousin, right? And he was like, fuck, I want to go to this thing, but we got to bring my cousin. And we pull up, and the guy at the front is kind of like the bouncer type. He's like, y'all 16 or up? We're like, yep. He's like, what about that fucking kid right there? He's like, hey, 16. He's like, obviously, like, he's like closer to 12, if anything. Like, he was small, like maybe like 4 foot. He just looks at him for a second. He's like, aight. Go in, and literally not even like a second you walk through the door and there's a fucking dude holding fucking Zans in his hands, and it's like, oh no, oh man. That place was crazy because you go in the basement and literally there was just like a concert going down there, and there was like 2 dudes on mics, there was fucking LEDs everywhere, there was glow in the dark spray paint, and it was just nuts. But yeah, my friend kept that kid in sight, and I'm pretty sure he took him out early just because he didn't want him to be there. Oh, I didn't even get to the fucking part I was meaning to talk about. So the demise of this event, of all this stuff going on, was the creator of the group story eventually started limiting who could post on there, and then he started charging $5 for party entry and shit like that, and you would fucking put a stamp on you like it's some fucking dance. And it was like, I went to a couple of those and I was like, dude, this just sucks. Cause like before, like you would show up, it would end in like, I would give it at least like 20 minutes, you know, the cops would show up or someone would pull a gun on someone or something. And it's just like, dude, like it's fine if you don't pay for it, but if you pay for it, it's like you literally just pay to get kicked out of the house. Like that's pretty much it. Yeah. And then Snapchat updated it where group stories, you can't have more than I think like 100 posters or some shit. So everyone being able to post just didn't happen because they had to send it to the guy who made the group, and he was already stopping people from posting, so it just added to that. And yeah, it's just dead now. I ain't even been on Snapchat in like a year just because fucking goons always texted me like, bro, come out, come with your meth, bro, come hang. And I'm like, oh, fuck you guys. I have a really good party actually. this one is actually fucking insane because this story, let me tell you the backstory. I was in Run and Start, which basically is you get to go to college junior year. I think that's the third year, whatever, and the state will pay for it if you have above like 3.0 GPA. So yeah, I went, drove every day. That was basically what I paid for with my job, which was just my fucking gas money because it was like a 20-minute drive every day. So one of my first classes there was actually astronomy, and they had this huge ass auditorium, and in the auditorium there was like it was like a theater seats basically. The teacher was in the front and I sat in the back. It was a morning class, so sometimes I'd fall asleep in there, like actually a lot, but he never saw it. And I'd only fall asleep, so he had this projector and you'd flip it on and the entire roof, all the lights would turn off, the entire roof would turn into the night sky or a projection of it. And it was literally as dark as the night sky is, like the room. So you really couldn't see anyone in there. You could kind of see actually. It was more like a projector lit room, but I fell asleep in there, right? And I awake to the entire class laughing. And I was like, oh fuck. And they weren't only laughing, they were all looking at me. And I was like, oh no. What'd I say? I look over there, go over to the girl on my right. I'm like, what happened? And she's like, you said Buenos Dias, Mandy, in your sleep. I was just like, this was what the Buenos Dias Mandy meme was going around. And I was just like, I was so fucking sleep deprived in school. And so my mind was just so numb that I was saying garbage memes in my sleep. No one ever talked about that actually after that day. I think the teacher just gave me a dirty look and I head out. That was pretty much it. But Run and Start was it was pretty high. It was a pretty good experience, other than it really sucked, the social aspect, because everyone at community college, like no one really wants to talk to each other. That's just kind of how it is. If you go to community college, you kind of know what I mean. It's more of like you have like small conversations, but no one's really ever like looking to make friends. So being 2 years on my own really was it kind of fucked with me, but it's I didn't even get a fucking AA from that shit. But I mean, I ain't mad, whatever. Generally lately, I just get fucking furious doing the dishes, like actually fuming. And I realized one day because it's not really, I've been a dishwasher before. I like doing dishes a lot. It's nice. It's chill. It's aight, right? But I think it's just a general doing dishes every time, looking down at that sink in my house is just a reminder of doing something I don't want to do somewhere I don't want to be. Because before COVID hit, I was about ready to fucking sell my soul, go 40K in debt just to fucking move out and go to college, right? I was already doing community college, so, I was like, no problem there. But then COVID hit and, I'm just like, nah, I ain't paying full tuition for them to fucking Zoom class me. And again, I mean, it's just like a general like bummed out not being where I want to be. But it's also like I'm grateful that I got food on my table, I got my own fucking room, I'm able to fucking record in front of a camera like this from stuff I saved up for like ever since I was in middle school. I mean, I've been making videos since as long as if I had a computer. Like no joke, I think like actually the month I got a computer, I remember watching PewDiePie. I was like, I want to do what he's doing, and it's been like that ever since. Whether or not my videos are good, it's for you to judge. They're not. But I'm just grateful because it's like there could have been so much that went wrong. Like I could be having to work right now. Shout out to all my essential workers. When fucking that face when McDonald's is essential work. I don't understand how the fuck people are eating fast food right now. Oh shit! Hold up. Maximum recording time reached. All right, sorry about that. My recording died or stopped. I don't know why. So back to the fucking fast food shit. I do not understand how someone managed to convince a lawmaker that shit is fucking essential. Okay, as someone who's worked in fast food like 3 times, I can safely say that most of the people that eat there are just too lazy. And if you got a phone to bitch about not being able to eat at McDonald's, you got the fucking internet to be able to learn how to make a fucking meal. All right, I don't want to hear no bitching. I don't want to hear no shit. That shit is not essential. There are dudes risking their life. Imagine dying over making a fucking burger, all right? I got sick making a Travis Scott burger. I am dead. Imagine putting that on your fucking tombstone, dude. You fucking kidding? Dude, even at work, okay, they say that they'll let the workers go home. No, No, dude, fast food managers, they'll fucking, you could be fucking, you lost both your legs and they're like, nah, you gotta work it off, bro. Like straight up, I was forced to go into work. I'm not gonna say where, when I was fucking deathly ill with the flu. Not deathly, but it was bad. I vaguely remember fucking snot rotting into the chicken, handing it to a customer, and they didn't give a fuck. No one fucking cares, you know, and I just imagine that shit McBurger, dude standing in the fucking foot lettuce, dude shitting in the grass. Man, it's just, I know if you go get fast food right now, they're gonna fucking huck a lug in your burger because they got that fucking, they got the sticky icky COVID. That boy got that virus. I hope this is entertaining also. If you guys like this, I know the first half was kind of bumming out. I kind of had to ramp up because I don't normally talk in my room like this. You guys want more? I got a lot of stories in me. Just give me the go and I'll keep saying bullshit. Speaking of another story, back to the Seattle parties I was talking about. So my GF at the time, my ex. So I was driving her and a bunch of her friends to this party we saw on sea parties, right? And I remember they were fucking passed out and they zanned out in my fucking car, like almost all of them except for one. My GF and this random chick were passed out. Okay, so we pull up. We see a bunch of goons walking down this neighborhood in like North Seattle. It was crazy, like actual like mob of people in a suburban neighborhood. So of course the cops got called, right? And there was like a hood fight going on in the road too. Some beef, some shit. I don't even know what the fuck was going on. Some dudes were mad. I think someone scuffed their car or some shit. But moral of the story is cops come rolling down the street, right? And as they're rolling down the street, I was like, everyone just chill in the car. We don't want them to raise suspicion. And then right as I say that, I hear the fucking back door open and this bitch just starts vomiting out the back and like clear view of the cops. So I'm just like mouth wide open and they just roll by. They don't even come back to question me. They don't even ask. They're just like, I see ya. I never heard from them again. That was, man. Oh, this one is kind of like a story you don't think actually happened, but it did. It's actually kind of crazy. This is part of the reason why I don't want to go to parties anymore. I don't. On top of COVID, I think before COVID, I actually stopped because of this one. So, you know, I was at a party. I was on the fucking thing, you know what I mean? But, so I remember going outside to take a piss and then nothing else after that. I come to in the back of some girl's Jeep in a McDonald's drive-thru, and I was like, "Oh God, I gotta piss. Let me out." And she's like, "No, we'll wait. We'll go drive back to his house so you can take a piss." I'm like, "I'm about to take a piss in this McDonald's parking lot." And she's like, "No, you ain't doing this shit right now. You staying here." So I fucking held it, right? I lose it again. I don't remember anything else. I come to, we're at the place, and this guy's house was on a hill, right? Like you're going up the hill. His house was right there, and along this hill there was just hills straight down, nothing else. And fucking all I remember is like I got a burger actually from the place. I got a fucking burger. I remember waking up and there was a burger in my hand. I was like, holy shit. And I was like, damn, I gotta piss. So I opened the door. They're walking inside. I remember standing in front of the bushes, and next thing I know, I'm at the bottom of the hill. Like literally nothing else in between. Like, and I see literally the lights for the Jeep, because it's like one of those Jeeps that the lights turn off after like a minute after not being in the car or some shit. Or maybe she just left the headlights on. But I see the headlights. They're like, not exaggerating, like 20 feet up. I straight up just rolled down this fucking hill, and I looked down at my hand and I could still feel the fucking burger. So I take a bite and I start walking up the hill. Or I come up to the hill where one of my friends was looking for me. He's like, dude, where you been? Dude, you fall down the hill. And I just had grass blood all over my shirt. I could actually pull up the shirt because it's stained from it. But I have grass blood all over my shirt. I just go up and I'm, yeah, what up, man? How's it going? I'm like, I don't even know where I was. What's up? But that was scary because like I could have died on that hill, man. That was like a legit cliff. And I just climbed up that shit with a McBurger in my hand. Here, let me get this shirt. Yeah, so you can see right here, this was all white actually. It's kind of like, here's pure white and here's the color of it. So it's just permanently, I got this at PAX, by the way. I got to play the Resident Evil VR, but this is just permanently fucking like greened from it, you can see the fucking, that it just permanently stained it. I don't know how grass stains it, but there was a lot more. I got most of it off, but this shit is a testament to that night. I mean, I think that's probably one of my best stories. Man, I just wanted to talk about the SoundCloud days, because I don't know if it's me getting old, but like 2017 was like actually crazy. I remember when I first heard of X, my buddy was going to his concert, and then I saw a video of X at the concert. He was just straight up on the support beams for the venue. He just climbed up and was doing like monkey bars over the crowd, fucking yelling and shit. And then also fucking Peep. Okay, here's one thing that made me mad, and I don't mean to be like, oh, I always wanted to be fans of them. I was legit a fan of X and Peep. They were literally on my list of people to see. I have like 4 people. It's Denzel, Post Malone, Peep, and X. That was the list at the time, and they just died. I couldn't see them, and it's like ever since then the music's just been, there's no like, 'cause back then I don't know if it's just me, it was like a nostalgia thing, but back then the fucking vibes with the whole, like, I don't know, it was just crazy times. The music was crazy. I don't know, it's just so far I feel like there's been a hole in the music industry, because like imagine if those guys were alive today, how far they could have gone, like progressed through music. I'm not saying they didn't go, they went pretty fucking far. I'm saying like imagine how they could have evolved, but instead we're left with Playboy Cardi. I mean, he's good, but you know what he's evolved into. And I ain't even a stan from 2017. I didn't know who the fuck he was back then. So it's not nostalgic glasses for him. I have listened to his fucking Dial-It album and that shit. That's prime. New stuff, I don't know about that, dog. I'm gonna say it straight up. Nah. There's just been like a certain life to the music industry. Like SoundCloud rap is pretty good recently. I've been liking the hyperpop shit. I'm not gonna lie. I really like the dubstep 2012 nightcore type vibe that I get from it with a bit of trap. I feel like the music industry has been so industry driven recently. Those guys were like literally the underground scene, like Shakewell and stuff. Those guys still go hard. Shakewell, if you haven't listened to them, listen to them. Puya too. They're probably a bit mainstream now, maybe, I don't know, but like they're reinventing the wheel, you know what I mean? All right, stupid topic. I'm gonna keep going. This one's a good story I actually brought up to some friends, and they were surprised. I never actually read like a single book in high school except for 1984, and how I managed to do that, mind you, I was also in LA 10 honors and LA 9 honors, and I managed to pass both with I think a B in both, actually, without ever reading a fucking book. Spark Notes. Just fucking, you want to know how fucking greasy it was? I would read Spark Notes, take notes on Spark Notes, memorize it, and then when an exam came up, I just memorized the events. I didn't even fucking read it. I didn't read fucking, what was it, Great Expectations. I didn't read fucking the one with the horse. I don't remember a fucking thing if you ask me. I was so fucking done with school, I would just fucking fake this shit. And that's another thing I want to talk about, is that, you know, getting good grades doesn't mean you actually do the work. You know, you can just be a grease bag and get fucking all A's. But I just thought that was funny. Because, you know, when I tell that to people who love to read, they get pretty triggered. They're like, what? What, you never read? Okay, I read it. No, I actually didn't read Lord of the Flies. Okay, no, I didn't read Lord of the Flies. I didn't. Although I will say reading Spark Notes is pretty much the same as reading Lord of the Flies. You could probably say, how did you quote stuff from the book then? I actually, because Spark Notes, it tells you which chapter it is. So I would go into the chapter. I would also sometimes look up the quote online. Nah, I just looked through the book. I never really read it though. I don't even know. I'm getting confused now. I'm gonna move on. Yo, mama. All right. Okay. This one, classic story. All right. So back in 7th grade, I had a bunch of shit going on. My anxiety was starting up real bad. I got real bad anxiety to this day. That's just how it be in this bitch of an earth, you know what I mean? So anxiety was starting up. A common thing that runs in my family is passing out at an early age. I don't know why, but it is. And I think it was like low blood pressure, anemia related. I don't know what it was, but now with that all the way, I'll tell you the story. So 7th grade health class, sit next to 2 girls either side of me. I woke up that morning feeling like shit. My gut was feeling weird. And I go in. So I feel like shit. I go into this fucking class, right? I sit down and the teacher just fucking opens up the slide. She's like, all right, boys, today we're learning about vaginas. And at this point, I was already like passing out. And not from the fucking pussy. You know, I was passing out from feeling like shit. And the girl next to me, like 5 minutes into the slideshow, she's asked me, "Are you all right? You look a bit green." And I looked down, and I remember seeing my body was like actually like turning like white green. It was weird. I just blacked. Like, I remember when she asked me that, it wasn't only I looked down and saw my skin really pale. I remember seeing my vision die out from the sides. Like, there was a little black sparkles. Like, my vision would die out from the sides, and then it was like a small tunnel vision. And I just look at this fucking presentation of a cooch, and then I fucking black out and wake up in the nurse's office, and they said I passed out. And after that day, everyone thought I passed out from the cooch. All right, they thought I was a fucking bitch. They thought, oh, this guy can't handle a little bit of cooch, you know. So naturally, I got made fun of that. I remember I was like, nah, no one cared that happened, right? And I showed up the next day, and this kid was like, this dude's scared of vaginas. She just started fucking laughing at me. I was like, no, dude, no. That was probably a funny story. You see, like, middle school fucking sucks, but the thing is that no one remembers what the fuck happened to anyone else when they're older. You really just remember what happened to yourself. Like, if a friend asked me if they remembered this about them, I'd probably, no. All I remember from middle school is worrying about my fucking acne, worrying about girls, and that's about it. Speaking of that, dude, I was fucking down bad in middle school, right? As any, teenage kid is. But one piece of advice, if anyone watching is in school or middle school or even just every day, and this is a good perspective that I've learned from skateboarding and a lot of stuff that is really cemented in my head, is if you ask someone out or ask someone for something or ask anything in life, take a chance. The worst thing that can happen is it doesn't work out or someone says no. What's worse than that is living your life wondering what the answer could have been. And, a lot of the time I look back and I wish I just, did it. I was down bad, right? I wish I could just fucking grab my younger self by the shoulders and be like, fucking ask him. I did, though. A couple, but not the ones that mattered. You know what I mean? It's like, let me tell you a story. So I worked at a golf course as a kid. All right. I was a goon at this golf course. So in my state, you have to be 16 to work at a conventional like fast food job, but some places will hire you under 16 and you get paid less as like a child labor bullshit, something like that. I don't know. I was like 15 or 14 working at this golf course over the summer. I was a goon there. I remember breaking the fucking cart, doing donuts like in regular show, like straight up gas powered cart. I fucking did donuts until it died. And the dude who owned the golf course, I fucking called him. I'm like, dude, I broke the guy, come on, pick me up, man. He fucking came out and towed the cart, pitch black, middle of the golf course. Dude, leave me, a fucking like 14-year-old kid, at this pitch black golf course. I live in the fucking boony stickweeds, fucking Bigfoot land, and I was scared I was gonna get mauled by cougars. I'm living in this fucking 1920s golf cart, like brown, and it's so old with like vintage amber lights. It looks like some steampunk shit. I couldn't see shit. Regardless, he shows up with his fucking truck with the thing to ready to load it. It just looks at the grass all fucking torn up from the donuts, and he looks at me and he's like, I think fucking get his car and we chill. We're just chilling. He drives me home. It's aight. The big thing what I remember over that summer is there was this chick I really liked, and fucking every day I would go on Facebook. This was back when Facebook Messenger was like a part of Facebook. So to message someone, you would have to actually go like into Facebook and then like go in the panel and it would be there. Every day I would go to her fucking like her text thread and like make a text and then delete it and like all that shit. I never worked up the courage to ask. And then one day when I finally was like, you know what, fuck it, I gotta do it. I'll never know what happened if I don't. I fucking open up Facebook. First thing I fucking see is her post saying that she's moving away. And I was just like, that was just it. I was just done. It was just over. In hindsight, it's not that bad of a story. I found out some things later, talking to her in later years, that, maybe it wouldn't have been the best if it happened. Of course I didn't tell her that ain't me. I wouldn't have told her about that. She don't know to this day. But even if I did ask her, I would have just been bummed out that she was moving if it did work out. Maybe that's just me coping. I don't know, but that's another thing about that, don't be scared of a no, be scared of never asking. That was like one of those moments that I cemented, because I was just like staring at the sunset in this golf cart, looking at my phone, being like, fuck. And that was it. But dude, that golf course was lit. I remember the fucking biggest tip I ever got there was I literally just helped this guy out of his, he like waved me down. I came over, he was like, can you help me take these clubs out of my cart? He was like an old dude. I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah. And like, it was nothing, like literally just taking him out and putting them down. And he was like, all right, $50 for you, good sir. And I was like, oh, because you know, $50 when you're fucking like working for like $6 an hour, you're like, yo, like that. My paycheck was like $90 back then, so I was like, yo, I'm a fucking big boy now. So that was crazy. That was the big bucks, boys. That's actually all the notes I've written. So overall, don't be scared of hearing a no. Be scared of never asking at all. Don't be a bitch. Stay inside. Simple as that. If you're gonna go outside, wear a mask. Remember, if you're locked in a room with someone, the fucking social distancing rule doesn't mean shit. Right? Think of it like gas is a water. If you start a fucking propane tank, it's not gonna stay in the fucking corner of the room. The gas from the propane, it's gonna fucking diffuse. This ain't fucking some bullshit. This ain't some fantasy world, right? It's gonna go everywhere. That's fucking it, though. I gotta go edit this and then go to bed. I got a whiteboard. Let me know if you like this. Let me know if you want more. It kind of just lets everyone into my own life, so you kind of, you know what's going on with me. I'm not just some guy behind a camera. I mean, I'm a guy. You know, I got feelings. I ain't just some goon who makes shitty videos every now and then. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you liked it. Subscribe. See ya.
This my shit. All the girls stomp your feet like this. Hypnotize me.